Good evening, everyone, and welcome to The Faces of Israel, Many Peoples, Many Opportunities, which will offer an in-depth view and understanding of the breadth and scope of work Jewish National Fund does for people with special needs and disabilities in Israel. Jewish National Fund is synonymous with inclusivity no matter one's level of ability. Hosting this evening's session is Gaylee Shif from Jewish National Fund affiliate LOTEM, Making Israel Accessible.
Shalom, everyone. I'm Gaylee Shif, the Liaison of LOTEM, Making Israel Accessible, a proud Jewish National Fund affiliated, located in the beautiful Emek HaShalom in the Galilee. I'm also a proud mother of 4 children. My oldest daughter, Noah, was born very premature and suffered from different difficulties as she grew up. She was considered special needs, and we were in and out for hospitals for many years. That period in life made us very aware and very conscious of the situation of children with special needs, and especially what it is like to be a parent of a child with special needs. Over the year, Noah grew up really nicely. She is now healthy and smart and beautiful, and she has difficulties, but those are her challenges that she'll have to deal with in life. But overall, we feel very blessed and very lucky. 3 years ago, Noah graduated high school, and that was a very special moment for us. And that was exactly the time when I felt that I needed to commit more to the concept that I believe in, and the concept of inclusion, and to promote these beliefs and these values. I was so lucky to join LOTEM. LOTEM is an organization that I've known for many years in Israel. It's the largest organization in its field, very successful and very effective. I'm very proud to be a part of LOTEM, and I'm very happy to host to you tonight. And I'm sure that you're going to enjoy our program and meet amazing and incredible people. Like the title of this session suggests, Israel has many people and from all walks of life. But did you know that about 10% of Israeli citizens are considered physically or mentally challenged? This goes beyond the physical and includes the many other hidden disabilities members of society deal with, such as PTSD from rocket attacks at the Gaza envelope region. Jewish National Fund is determined to ensure that no member of Israel, no matter what nationality, religion, ethnic background, or level of ability, is left behind. We believe passionately that the inclusion of people with disabilities and special needs should be woven tightly into the fabric of Jewish life, and all the more so in Israeli society. The pandemic may have changed how our affiliates go about doing their critical work, but it hasn't diminished or demeaned the importance of continuing the life-changing services that we provide. We are all very committed to maintaining our care of those who need it at Alei Negev Nachlat Eran, Red Mountain Therapeutic Writing Center at Golfit, and Special Uniform in LOTEM. Tonight, we're going to hear about some extraordinary people touched by Jewish National Fund effort during extraordinary times. In the town of Ofakim, a 30-minute drive from Beersheba, Alei Negev Nachlat Eran Rehabilitation Village is providing unparalleled state-of-the-art rehabilitation services, medical care, and special education for people with severe disabilities.
The Alei Negev Nachlat Eran Rehabilitation Village was founded by Major General Doron Almog as part of his personal vision and mission in memory of his son Eran. Alei Negev Nachlat Eran is a unique village that provides ongoing solutions for people with severe complex disabilities, a lifetime home providing every possible treatment and therapy. It is the largest rehabilitative community in the Negev, numbering 160 residents, 140 students, and over 1,000 rehabilitative care patients. The village significantly impacts the Negev's positive growth, attracting Israelis from all over the country as it employs over 500 staff and welcomes more than 800 volunteers. In conjunction with the JNF, over 10,000 guests have visited the village since 2004, and more than $30 million have been raised in JNF-related donations. are presently in the final stages of construction of the Negev's first rehabilitation hospital. This cutting-edge $80 million project is a joint effort by the Israeli government and the JNF. The hospital's Novel Research Center, a hub for international cooperation including Ben-Gurion University, Johns Hopkins University of Baltimore, and Chicago's Shirley Ryan Ability Lab, will be a frontrunner in the development of new and unique rehabilitative methods. Additionally, a residential area for employees, volunteers, and students is under construction in close proximity to the hospital. Within a decade, Ale Negev Nachlat Iran will be a holistic center comprising the Rehabilitation Village, an international research center, and the town of Daniel, an integrative community of 600 families who will welcome and embrace village residents, the heart and soul of the community.
Let's meet one of the patients.
Please meet 2 years old Muhammad Abu Raish from the Bedouin city of Raat in the southern part of Israel. Muhammad is a smiley child who loves to play with a ball and ride a tricycle. At the age of 16 months, Muhammad awoke one morning with a limp and began stumbling when he tried to walk. Muhammad's parents rushed him to the hospital, where he was diagnosed with ADEM, a rare inflammation of the central nervous system that directly impacts the brain and spinal cord. Muhammad was hospitalized at Alin Pediatric and Adolescent Rehabilitation Center in Jerusalem, the only pediatric rehabilitation hospital in Israel, located a full hour and a half from Rahat. Muhammad progressed nicely at Alin, but the distance from home caused a great deal of stress to his entire family. As a result, his family was unable to visit regularly. Muhammad missed his parents and siblings terribly, and his progress really slowed. Muhammad's parents noticed the change and moved him to Ale Negev Nachalat Iran's rehabilitation ward, the southest only rehabilitation hospital that combines therapeutic treatments with structural education system for children undergoing rehabilitation. During his hospitalization, Muhammad received a wide range of therapists, all in one location. The consistent high level of care gave Muhammad a feeling of security and independence, and his parents were thrilled that they could easily visit him more frequently. When Muhammad first arrived to Ale Negev Nachalat Iran, the entire right side of his body was non-functioning. In the month since Muhammad was reached, many age-appropriate goals, such as going up and down steps with support, walking independently on irregular surfaces, and lifting objects using both hands. Many more goals lie ahead, but Muhammad is fully motivated to reach each and every one of them. With the support of Ale Negev Nachalat Iran and the JNF, even the sky is not the limit for Muhammad. Thanks to Ale Negev and Jewish National Fund, we have the one and only rehabilitation hospital in the Negev, and thanks to this, Muhammad can come regularly to get those treatments. Muhammad's parents are so happy, and they are very, very thankful to each one of you for your support along the years and more to come. So thank you very much.
That's quite something, isn't it? The Israel Defense Force, the IDF, is a source of immune pride for Israelis and Jews around the world. Serving in the IDF is also a rite of passage for young Israelis and an integral part of life. And yet, each year many young Israelis with special needs and disabilities are exempt from serving. Special Uniform offers youth with disabilities the opportunity to serve and integrate into the IDF alongside with their fellow countrymen, fulfilling their potential and enabling them to be accepted into society regardless of their disability they may have. Let's take a look.
Special in Uniform integrates young people with disability into the IDF, the Israeli Defense Force. It focuses on the unique talents of each individual, based on the belief that everyone belongs. and it has the right to reach up to his or her full potential. Today, I would like to talk about an elite unit that entirely made up of autistic young boys and girls. Autism is a present. It is a gift to the world, and people on the spectrum can offer so much to humankind. Some autistic people shows an exceptional talents despite general functional and social disability. Along with difficulties, autism can evoke a remarkable abilities, including a phenomenal memory, math skills, three-dimensional thinking, musical and honesty, and the ability to focus entirely on a specific interest. With the Jewish National Fund support, we are creating a new model for people with autism. We believe on the ability of those autistic soldiers and will continue to work for their advancement in the military and later on in their civilian life. And when all the neighborhood suddenly see that their neighbor, a boy that no one gave him a chance on the autism spectrum, coming home at the end of the week on uniform, and hear that they can also continue with the skills that they learned during their service in the army. Those skills continue with them in their civilian life and work. It is entirely changing a form of life and making an enormous influence. Let's meet one of those soldiers. His name is Itai. This young man on the spectrum that cracks codes in the top secret IDF cyber unit. Recently even Itai received an award from the military for excellence work that he did, for the contribution for the safe and safety of the Israeli country. Let's meet Itai and his father.
Itai was a very good student, but we noticed that he couldn't get any friends. He didn't have any friends. And also difficulties to communicate with them. He didn't know how to communicate. He always wanted us to communicate for him. Because he was a very good student, nobody really pointed what was his problem. Only at the age of 17 or 18, we diagnosed him with autism. It's a very important day for us. We waited many years for this moment that Itai will be able to recruit to the Israeli army. Itai has passed many difficulties during these 5 years, and finally he found the place that he fulfilled all his need. He's very clever, so in the army he found himself doing very important things, and for him in the computer region, and he's very satisfied there. He's very proud of himself because he succeeded to solve problem that no other soldier knew how to solve them, and for that reason he got a reward from the army in a very big ceremony that he was a very fine soldier.
My name is Sergeant Major H. I'm service here at the Palmachim Air Force Base. I'm in charge at the cyber computer. Itai joined us last year, and since then this place has become a place of inclusion. We are now having 6 soldiers from special in uniforms. Itai has a remarkable talent like no others, and we are honored to serve with him, and we are learning each day something new from his point of view. We are so happy that he is with us. Thank you, JNF, for supporting Special in Uniforms program.
Today it's a special day. I have been through in the vacuum. I have passed some levels like DNA, fingerprint, and vaccines. And today I feel special because it's better because I'm not longer volunteer, I'm a soldier now. My message is that you can do anything. Thank you to Special in Uniform and JNF USA.
Incredible, isn't it? This program has been so successful that it's making its way over to the United States and slowly being replicated there. And now, we go an hour and 40 minutes north of Tel Aviv to the lush greenery of the Lower Galil, where LOTEM is located, a Jewish National Fund affiliate. We harness nature's therapeutic healing and are home to the only fully accessible education center in Israel. LOTEM is the largest organization in Israel for accessible outdoor activities for people with special needs. It is one of the oldest organizations, and the scope of our work shows the largest scale operation in the country. 43,000 children that go to school trips every year with us, 51,000 participants in nature clubs where we operate inside of the institutions, 15,000 visitors to Emek HaShalom every year, and 6,000 government officials undergoing official accessibility training at LOTEM. Besides that, we are making heritage sites, museums, and national parks in Israel accessible, and this is how we're making Israel inclusive for all. When the COVID crisis broke out, we were prepared for a quick response, with the understanding that the needs of the schools and special needs sector are urgent and solutions must be immediate. From the beginning, it was clear that the name of the game for the present and the foreseeable future is distance learning. The education system, neither the general or the one of the special needs, were not prepared for that. So the first thing we did was to use our expertise using our accessibility of information methods and produce content for distance learning. The lessons we produced, we distributed it to schools and institutions at no cost. It was our way to being in touch and to contributing to our friends, the principals, the teachers, the professional staff that we have been accompanying for 27 years. We cooperated with the umbrella organizations of families with special needs in Israel, Akim, to manage the needs of the schools in the best way. This is how we learned about the lack of computers and tablets among many children from the special education. For their students who sit disconnected at home without their routine, their teachers, their caregivers, their friends, and without employment during those long hours. We immediately set up the Computer for Every Child with Special Needs program. Akim raised the funds in Israel, and we in the United States. I was amazed by the reaction of our friends at Jewish National Funds. From the managers, the professionals, to the donors who heard about the program, picked up the phone and asked, "How can we help?" The funds came, and we started giving away dozens of computers. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's not obvious. The Jewish National Fund's response has once again demonstrated what a different organization this is, how genuine and a true friend. And all the fear and the worries that you had for yourselves and for your loved ones, you still found the attention, the caring, the compassion to help those who need you so much. I want to show you how you have made the lives of so many children, young and not so young, and their families so much better.
أهلاً وسهلاً.
אני שלומי, אבא של ישי.
אביבה היא ילדה בחורה בבית.
פריאל היא בת 21 היום. ילדה עיוורת עם שיתוק מומחי והרבה בעיות ברקע.
אני יוסי, אני אבא לדו תאומות, שתיהם על הרצף האוטיסטי.
יש לה קושי התפתחותי ברמת הדיבור, ברמת השפה.
שלום, אני מצלמת, שתדעו. אני אחות שלי. היי. קוראים לי חסן, אני אחות של אישה פרטית. בעצם יש לי אחות בסמנה.
תודה, רק תודה. איזה חיוך! איזה חיוך!
תודה.
תודה רבה.
אני חושב שאנשים חושבים גם על אחרים. אז תודה רבה.
תודה, שלום.
תודה הכי הרבה שיכול להיות.
Rehabilitation therapy comes in many forms, and we in Jewish National Funds are so lucky to provide horseback riding therapy as one of those means of rehabilitation care. At Red Mountain Therapeutic Riding Center, located in Kibbutz Golfit, just north of Eilat in the Arava, therapeutic riding is used as a tool to improve the lives of individuals with a range of cognitive, physical, and emotional impairment.
I'm Adva. I'm almost 29 years old. I was born with something called CP. To be here living even like this, it's actually a miracle. I'm thanking God every day that I'm here.
Adva was born prematurely, and unfortunately she suffered a massive brain hemorrhage after birth. We really did not know if she would be able to stand, if she would be able to walk. And, you accept that and try to concentrate on what she can do. Over the years, we've seen that she can do many, many wonderful things. Adva speaks 4 languages fluently. She's a trooper. She works hard, and she has been working hard all of her life. And living a life like Adva, it's very courageous.
I've been in a wheelchair my whole life, but that doesn't stop me to do anything. I've been riding for as long as I can remember myself. To be on a horse for me is like walking because I can't move my legs very well. When I first came here, I was 3.5 years old, and it seriously seemed like a fairy tale.
When Red Mountain opened, Adva was first client, and she began riding here regularly on a regular basis, once a week, sometimes twice a week. The movements that the hips get is just like the movement of walking, so it was recommended.
Therapeutic riding is for everyone. It works with emotional issues, it works with behavioral issues, it works with physical issues, it works with absolutely every level of special need or disability. Red Mountain Therapeutic Riding Center is set in Kibbutz Golfit, which is in the Arava Valley. Therapeutic riding is exceptionally expensive, and most families that have special needs children can't afford to pay for their therapy. So JNF allows us to give scholarships to the families of children, young adults and adults, and allows us to work with them. And because they are so generous, we're able to work with so many. Since JNF came, we reached just about every child with special needs from the Eilat and the Arava region. Without the JNF, we just wouldn't be here. Therapeutic riding gives so much to so many people, and we really feel it's important that we're here to provide that for the families in the South.
Basically, horseback riding and riding therapy became one of the most important things in Adva's development in so many ways. Physically, it helped her really strengthen. It helped her move in ways that she couldn't move otherwise. It gave her self-confidence.
She gives us the therapy. She comes in here, she's full of her jokes and the way she speaks about us and the center. And so for her to come here and still be a part of our family here, which she is, it gives us a great deal of pleasure and joy as well.
Every week, I come here to volunteer and to work. Red Mountain changed my life positively, ever since I was young to this day.
On normal days, we have 30 volunteers from different backgrounds and frameworks. They help at the ranch with the children and the horses. They are an extremely important and significant part of our ranch's existence. Each one of them has their own special story. Today, I want to tell you about Shira, who joined us 2 years ago.
My whole life I felt like a boat being tossed around by stormy weather in the ocean. I was adopted as a young girl from Romania. By the age of 18, I had already been moved through 6 foster families. I felt that I had no control of my life. I had no clue where my life would take me. There was always someone making the decision for me. The government, the institutions, or the social welfare system. I decided to open my adoption folder at the age of 18, and I met my biological mother for the first time when I turned 22. 8 years ago, I moved to Eilat to live with my brother and his adoptive mother. In Eilat, I met Yaniv. Back then, Yaniv used to be volunteer at the Red Mountain Therapeutic Riding Center, and today he is one of the riding instructors at the Red Mountains. One day, Yaniv invited me to join him at the ranch, already on my first day at the riding center. It felt like home. I felt good. I always loved horses. I started volunteering once a week on my day off from work. Every week I waited for my day off to come so I could go and be with the horses. And then came COVID-19. My initial plan was to fly abroad, but I had to cancel due to this new reality we are all facing. My work hours were drastically reduced, and I found myself having a lot of free time during the week. I started coming to the riding center every day, and through my time with the horses, I realized that I finally had control of my life. I wasn't the little girl anymore who had only experienced hard time in her life. I have rights, abilities, and I have the option to choose for myself. Through my riding experience, I realized that I was capable of riding and to be in control of the horse. My time being around the children with various disabilities and watching them handling the horses has given me a lot of tools that I can apply for myself. Something that might sound like an insignificant act, like how to lead the horses on the ground, has had a very significant meaning to me. I am leading the horse rather than being led. Horses are very sharp and sensitive to the mood and the feeling of the person sitting in the saddle. I can really see myself in one of the horses here at the center. Lynn, for example, used to be a very edgy and nervous horse, but she has calmed down during her time here. Horses are very much like humans. They experience trauma and they remember things which can make them very unpredictable. My aspiration is to share the gifts and knowledge life has given to me, and I believe that my story can inspire and bring hope in others. If you change the order of the letters in the word pachad, fear in Hebrew, to dachaf, you receive the word push.
In Judaism, we're taught that every life and every being matters. Jewish National Fund not only believes that, but puts it to practice every day. JNF's mission is to improve and create a more prosperous land of Israel for the people of Israel, and that includes improving the quality of life for everyone who calls Israel home. It means ensuring that no member of Israeli society is left behind, that an Israeli youth with cognitive disabilities can join the IDF along with their school friends, and that parents can rest assured that family member is receiving the best care in the world's best rehabilitation village, that all can enjoy the marvels and beauty of the land of Israel on an accessible hike, and that an innovating form of animal therapy can be helped extraordinary ways.
We hope you enjoyed this session. Please join us tomorrow for Israel, Making the World a Better Place, where we'll learn how students from Asia and Africa are coming to Israel to learn agricultural knowledge and techniques and become ambassadors for the Jewish state. The program begins at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. A reminder that the special by invitation only event for major donors featuring Bat Ella Birnbaum will begin at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. We resume with our next conference session at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific for Israel as the Food Capital of the World, to hear about Jewish National Fund's vision to transform the Upper Eastern Galilee into the culinary food capital of Israel and the world.